and let's talk about Ready to Love.
Messy.
Yeah, very much so. I be trying to get into this season, but we're gonna talk about a few things that happened. I thought it was interesting when it came down to Sue because last she irritated me at the top of the episode. I have to be honest. Last week or week before last, it was where she was trying to act all surprised as to why Jeffrey was approaching her the way that she was. It's like now this week you got an audience in your man Blake, and now you want to sit up here and try to come at this lady like keep my name out of your mouth and don't mention me and da 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 da. But then you was just sitting over here acting surprised. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it's giving confirmed. Pick me is giving confirmed. You want him to praise you. It's giving confirmed. You want him to be like, oh, she got my back. I'm gonna ride with her. But he's gonna ride with you and then go to the street before he make that left because he embarrassing the hell out you. And it's really not gonna be anything. He's only gonna use you to get to the end of the show, and then we're gonna get to the reunion and find out that it was never anything because it never was to begin with. Period. What were your thoughts about that?
I feel like Sue is okay. I just can't get it out of my mind that this woman got six brothers. She got six brothers, and
Mm-hmm.
they said that a couple of episodes back, which makes me think, okay, cool, that's why you're male identified. And then the next thing I can't help but think is I think that Sue is extremely insecure because this beef with Jeffrey is OD. And I think that by her having Blake's back, she thinks that that gives her the one up versus like her looks or her ass or anything like that. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's why she working overtime. And honestly, her and Blake ain't gonna last. Y'all are just thriving because y'all like this type of attention on a cast. Once the show ends, y'all are not going to be together. Trust, they're not going to be together.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad you said that about how she was looking at Jeffrey, because I do feel like she thought that Jeffrey probably was the softest woman amongst all. A lot of the men love Jeffrey's softness and her, her femininity and her voice being up here in this octave when she talks. Like all the men really love that, like baby girl, kind of energy from a woman. It's so feminine. It's like suck a dick. But anyway, I'm sorry. It's annoying to me though, like that they find like these all of the men. When I tell you all of them had that to say about Jeffrey as the thing that they liked about her softness, And I think Suan was trying to do that same thing. If you remember her date with Blake, where she, sits in his lap and kisses him and all of that type of shit. It was also giving the I'm trying to be soft too. Look at me. I'm doing the soft thing too. Like I feel like that's the vibe she was trying to give, but she has that like superiority complex shit that Blake has. So the men weren't responding to her in that same manner. And then, well, yeah, I do, but yeah, I think she's jealous of Jeffrey because Jeffrey was coming off as like her competitive, soft, competition, her soft feminine competition. Because the other women have, more realistic voices and personalities. But the just voice me, damsel in distress thing is what Jeffrey was really hitting hard and the men liked about her. So yeah, I think Sue was jealous of that.
Okay.
Why is it
But
always somebody on this show who eyeshadow match their outfits and whatnot?
who did that?
What is Mercedes? In the episode before last, she had on blue eyeshadow in a blue outfit, and it reminded me of Brandy from the previous. They cast the same people,
They
That's the one
do.
and
that
then
kissed Mark Anthony, right?
yes, and then the
Okay.
other thing with Jeffrey, to tag on to Bondi's comment about her being soft, is Jeffrey knows that she has to offer femininity and a fat
Hmm.
ass. Hence why she showed up on that date a couple episodes ago with the fucking polo and leggings and slides. Like every opportunity Jeffrey gets, she's going to show you her ass. Like in a very sculpted way. Like even if like
Mm.
the fact that she wore a polo and leggings told me that you want your ass sculpted so much that you don't even care if the outfit don't go together.
Yeah, because polos don't go with tights. We know that.
Polos don't go with leggings. And then she wore a blazer and a swimsuit top as a crop top. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know.
She's trying to project the image is what it's giving.
Yeah.
of what they like.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sexy femininity, softness.
Yeah.
Mm. Thank you, Felicia, for the super chat. Hey, ladies, and yes, it's the peace of mind you want. In the end, you've endured enough. I think she was referring to
For the
the
life insurance.
previous.
Hmm.
Yeah. Elimination round. Mark Anthony and Anthony stayed. Like, what are we doing here? It was given producers did this. Jonique was sent home. There are no more lifelines. I was kind of glad Tommy was like, that's it, that's all y'all get, because y'all been over here trying to hold out in hopes of I don't know what. And now, and one of the guys was looking like, see, I told y'all we should have probably used that lifeline, because maybe, because I feel like whoever they really weren't feeling could have been used as a catalyst the next week to really be the person they sent home versus losing somebody they were actually interested in. So I feel like that's why they said
Yeah.
that. But I am glad that there are not any more lifelines. Tony and Morgan, they have a weird connection to me. I don't really like how I don't number one, I don't understand what Morgan sees in Tony. And then I also don't understand, like, why would you want to have a be with the person that you gotta constantly tell them what to not do. Don't be licking your lips all the time. Don't be trying to talk to these women. Don't be doing. And I'm like, you really like you must like to fight. You must try to prove your love and prove that you're the best candidate or something for somebody. Like, who
I'ma
wants to
prove
do
my
that all the
love.
time? Like, that was kind of
She
annoying.
liked to
What y'all
fight.
thought?
She liked to fight. And we gonna talk about it in a second. But the way that she lit Blake up, she liked to fight, and she wants somebody to hear what the fuck she got to say. But I'm like you. I don't understand what she sees in Tony. I stand by it. This man looks like Arthur, the cartoon character. And honestly, I think that Morgan is, she's a typecast. So she's supposed to be like a
Mm-hmm.
Liz, the Liz and Jason, the woman that's like 40 plus.
Regal.
You go to church, you fine, you got a fat ass, you love God, but you can't find no man for whatever reason. That's who Morgan is supposed to be. And I think that she was easily swooned just because Tori was like, "Dear Lord, thank you for this food. Amen."
I told you that. I told you as soon as he did that price, I said manipulation, and she fell for it. But I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
that's not the only reason why.
Mm-hmm.
Tony gives the most sexual energy. Besides Mark Anthony,
I
he
don't
gives them.
see it. Oh, I
No,
don't
I'm not
see it.
talking about sexual energy that I'm attracted to. I'm talking about sexual energy to her. Like the way
Oh,
he
to her.
is, yeah, like the way he is with the women that he's attracted to, he gives off a lot of like, I'm gonna come and get you type vibes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't find
Mm-hmm.
the man that attractive. I hate this picture and everything. But essentially, I feel like the reason why Morgan likes him when I see them together is because they are flirting heavily. They click in on the sexual energy. So that's what I think their like common thing is that they're both sexually attracted to each other. And Morgan likes the fact that he is aggressive in the way he goes after the women. Tony
Okay.
might be the only dude on the cast, with the exception of Mark Anthony, that really goes after the women. Like he shows them that he's really interested. All of the women that he's interested in are interested in him and say that he applies pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, and I think with a lot of these men on the show, they don't apply pressure. So I think that's the reason why Morgan likes him so much, is because he's manipulating you on all of the levels, man. The Lord
Yeah.
level,
Mm-hmm.
the sex level, the conversation and flirtatious level, and he's also giving you a little competition with her and Marcia. So, and
Mm.
she like to say she likes to fight. So I think that he reckon, because he always tells her, it's Morgan and Marcia. It's Morgan and Marcia. You know what I'm saying? So I think he likes to keep her on her toes a bit, and she liked that shit too.
Mm.
It makes sense.
Speaking of Morgan,
She was like
Morgan
sexual
sits down.
energy.
Morgan sits with Blake. She wants to know who has hurt him. And this man said, ain't nobody hurt him. I'm like,
He
boy, you
lying.
done had about 3 failed relationships. So you talking about ain't nobody hurt you. Shut up.
Who hurt you?
So, first of all, Morgan did not want to have this conversation though. I don't know if y'all noticed when she came, she was just like her energy seemed like, why y'all forcing me to make this a thing? And it seems like y'all was trying to force her to probably like him or be, oh, I don't even know if it was like Y'all, we know they don't like each other, so let's film. This is going to be good for good TV. The fact
Yeah.
that y'all are keeping him around was making me think that y'all wanted her to feel comfortable with having him around because he's probably going to be around for longer or something. So that's why I felt
Mhm.
like they brought them to the table together. But I was glad that she pretty much called him out and told him he wasn't no good
I
and he
like
Mhm.
Morgan.
trash and everybody deserves better.
And she did it very I like the way she did it. It wasn't personal. It didn't mince any words. It was just straight up, I feel like you're a bad guy. I think you're manipulative. I don't trust you. I think all of these women deserve better. When he was like, "You feel better?" She was like, "Yes." It
Mhm.
was just like she really did look like she felt better. But this I think that everybody was responding to the shit that was going on behind the scenes. Even when Morgan met with him, I think Morgan
Hmm.
meeting with him was like everybody's she was speaking for everybody. I think they wanted to send him home. And
Yeah.
because the producers had decided that they were not going to send him home, I think all of the women have a lot of aggression and aggravation about him and about Suan still being there. So
Yep.
I think that when they had that meetup, that was supposed to give, the women or the ones who wanted to speak on the shit their their moment to say how
Hmm.
they felt, even though Blake was still gonna be there, which doesn't make any sense. How all the women don't like you and you still here?
Mm.
Corey, from previous season, she killed me when she said, "You're a cancer and you're not benign. It's malignant." I was
Right.
like,
Breathing down to the
um,
toes.
yeah, it is giving somebody hurt him, and honestly, the more he talks about being against children, it makes me think that you don't fuck with any of your children
You
at
don't like
all.
them. You don't like
Yeah,
them.
Mm.
you're not
Mm-mm.
present in their lives. Similarly to how when they did their yoga session and he put a bunch of clocks on a piece of paper and said the value of time. And Jeffrey said, "But I don't see anything about family." That's because I don't think this man is involved with any type of family. And that's who hurt him. I think there's something wrong with this man. The three baby mamas got pregnant before they
Hmm.
found that out, and they probably stopped fucking with him. And that's why you feel no connection to women actually wanting to have kids, because all three relationships you have to be some sort of unhealthy for you to be projecting all that energy onto the women.
Oh yeah, because the way he
Mm.
responded to Morgan when she was talking about having a kid, remember we talked about it. It was like, why is he trying to like talk them out of wanting children? That's
He did that to
insane.
Corvea too.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Corvette was like, "Oh, I'm about to
He really
go."
did.
Does Sue
Yeah.
Ann have any
He really
kids? Sue
did.
Ann got no kids, do she?
She must not.
Not that I knew of. I thought she
Suan
had none.
gives, if she didn't look so good, she would be one of those women that you wondered if they ever really got laid because their energy just gives, stank a dank. Like they're smart and they know how to be pristine, but they not giving up the coochie is what it's giving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like if she wasn't, with a good wig and a nice body and all of that, I wonder if she, would be one of those because we're in a different time. But y'all remember back in the day, like I feel like Suan fits a certain stereotype of a woman that nowadays y'all can pretty it up a little bit more. But it feel like she didn't never want no kids.
It made me think about, I don't
Suan
know, this
has
might be,
kids. She got kids and she trying to be with this
oh,
man. She don't like her kids
okay.
neither. Yeah, she ain't never want no kids. Probably had them by accident.
So that's why
Mm-mm.
she clinging to him. She clinging to him so hard
Not
because
shoulda
of
could no.
that. She don't want to have no more kids either.
Mm. I guess, child. Anything else on the vote? Ready?
I really feel like
Swalla.
I really feel like they probably had a conversation about how they both wish that they didn't have children when they did. Like I want to know how
Yeah.
old is Suan's children because
I
it's
do too. I
given
wonder how many she got.
right. Like they said it was a exclusive episode. I wonder how old they are. She has
It says
one.
one.
Yeah,
I
I
knew it
mean,
was gonna be one. I knew it was gonna be
one
one.
and probably like 15, 16 or some shit like that. Some child she had accidentally, when she was hot in the pocket or
Mm.
something like that.
Yeah, they got to be like 12 to 6, 12, 16. You think, how old is she? Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. She
12,
looks
16,
older.
probably. She do look older, especially in this picture right here.
Yeah, it's given between 12 and 16 as the age range for her kid for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm looking at her face, y'all. I'm looking at just her face. And
Mm.
even though she's a pretty woman, like if you take away the really good wig, I feel like that's the face of one of them mean ass ladies that just act like, nice nasty, but they mean. Got a little mustache.
Monica,
Hmm.
Monica's mama from Love and Basketball is what I was thinking.
Oh,
Mm.
yes. You don't
Hmm.
even know why they had
Right.
like
Hmm.
them damn kids. She had
Mm.
them for the man. Okay, now we done.
Okay. No, y'all good. Okay. All right. So that's enough of Ready to Love.